What up, world? It's Eternal Authenticity, broadcasting live out here with Fred, going for a dog walk. Anyways, yo, like YouTube is a lifesaver, to be honest, because there's some people that's gonna have some big regrets in their life, to be honest, for real. Like, and I'm just keeping it 100% real, like I push positivity and elevation, and at the same time, like, I'm real. So there's some negativity with that. It's just a fusion of both in such an amazing way. But y'all are gonna see what's up, like down the line, you know, like it's because you gotta be honest with yourself, with the way you're living and whatnot. And like, that's why I'm glad I'm doing this whole YouTube thing because, you know, this is my production platform. You know what I mean? So like, it's working for me. You know what I mean? And I'm able to get my mind right. And this is a virtual, like, page profile of who I am. You know what I'm saying? Like, it doesn't mean, oh, this is all of me. But like, you know, this is the message I'm delivering, and I'm very transparent, honestly. Like, what you see is what you get. So, with that being said, it's not like I'm living like a double life or whatever. Like, I'm very transparent. That's all I'm saying. And like, to be honest, the biggest thing for me, like, why I say I'm glad about this. I'm glad about this because, like, I do this for other people. That's why I have this. We're starting this thing called Authentic Squad. Eternal Authenticity, and I'm addressing the viewers, the family, the supporters as Authentic Squad because, like, there's other people out here who vibe with what I'm vibing with and can relate to what I'm overcoming. Like, for me, they call it man's search for meaning, like existentialism, this and that. So like for me personally, you know, despite being vegan or not being vegan, deep down, part of my plan internally, regardless, is just to have a family and to have, some long lasting love. You know what I'm saying? So like, with that being said, that's always been something natural, an natural instinct for me, you know what I mean, to have, some marriage in my life, you know what I mean, for the long run. And it's like you got to go through different waves of life, of learning about yourself and about others and about what we want and just learning lessons and stuff. And intuitively, I feel like the more and more I'm healing myself, I'm probably going to be one of the last men standing, able to be really old in age and doing this stuff because, like, I've been righting my wrongs. You know what I mean? Like, I've been righting my wrongs, truly. So it's some deep power for real. And honestly, also, like, even we can say, we were living a lie, like at school and whatnot, with the misinformation. Okay, I still did my best there too. You know what I mean? Like, I wasn't causing up, you know what I mean? Like, I still stayed true, even when I didn't have the right information, eating the wrong foods, you know, in school and stuff. I still did the best I was able to do, despite being around other people who might have been very, problematic or whatever. I'm just glad, especially with this whole awakening thing, going vegan and whatnot, like, I've still been able to stay true on making real smart choices and decisions because the long term always wins. The long run always wins, because like, yeah, instant gratification, viral this, viral that, overnight this, overnight that. It's cool. It's just like, you know, it just makes sense to pursue something for the long run. And for me, what does that go hand in hand with? The long run. What do I desire to have in the long run when I'm 90 years old? To, I'm still going to be free. I'm still going to be out in the sun. I'm still going to, have love in my life. I'm still going to be myself, you know, all these different things, like just simple things. And like, it's just what behaviors, like that you're into. Fred, calm down, boy. You keep tangling up the leash. But, just simple things. And I'm keeping on going, because my mentors even said that, several times they felt like quitting. But they didn't, and I'm not either, because I see what's up. It's truly like a battle between higher and lower nature, a battle between the mind and the hearts of so many out there. And for me, I'm an old soul. So like, yeah, before I went vegan, I had plenty of pursuit out there with that whole hookup lifestyle. You know what I mean? Just, for a year or two, hanging out with other people, staying out late, not sleeping, not eating properly, not staying hydrated, not exercising properly, just being all out of whack, to be honest. And, the pursuit of love was very hookup and lustful, to be honest. And yeah, I'm here to reproduce, and at the same time, like, by me learning with those relationship stuff, because it was just so fast, I was like, hey, okay, I still haven't had children yet. I still haven't had a family yet. That means, I'm not settling for nothing. Whenever I do have children and a family, whoever's involved, we're supposed to be here for the long run, you know what I'm saying? Like, until, throughout our 90s, and having children and grandchildren, great-grandchildren, like that type of stuff, you know what I mean? And I mean it. So that's where I'm coming from with all this. And I say whoever's involved because I'm keeping an open mind. Like, of course, I haven't been presented any children that are, from me in my life. So that means I haven't even gotten it right with one yet, to be honest with y'all. Because it's been a lot of, fast-paced fake love, here today, gone tomorrow type stuff, people that say they love you or your friends or whatever, and then, they don't want to talk to you after, you know what I mean? So like, with that being said, I was like, yo, how awesome would it be to have someone who still want to be there with you, and it's not all this stereotypical stuff, that they push in the mainstream, to make men and women tough and hard, you know what I'm saying? Desensitized, I never thought that was cool, to be honest, at all. Yeah, it might have been popular for a little bit, but then you look at the long term, like, that's why I started to pick up, intuitively on certain things, because I was like, wow, take for instance music, like, look at music that's lasted, for years, performers, like B.B. King or Stevie Wonder, Ray Charles, Earth, Wind and Fire, Willie Nelson, like there's a bunch of different people, Bob Marley, whatever, like the list goes on of that kind of vibe. But you see, you're like, wow, let me notice something here. They had a long career, they were very old and they still were moving on strong. And like intuitively, I resonate with that because I'm here to live a long life as well. So like, with that being said, it's like, you start to realize, hey, maybe they also made some necessary adjustments, to allow them to live a long life. And that's kind of what I've been picking up on for me personally, the long-term type of mindset, like obviously, there doesn't need to be cameras on people 24/7, but I'm just saying, like, technically we all have something to offer and share it to the world, no matter what color, what country, no matter where you're from or what. Like, technically everybody has some type of profile, like, whether it be Facebook, whether it be YouTube, whether it be Instagram, whether they're on, a news reporter, whether they're a basketball player, no matter what, like, everybody technically, come on, let's go, Fred, come on. No matter what, like, it's like everybody has something. That's the point I'm making. And it's like you have to be mindful of what you're doing. And I'm just glad that I have YouTube as a platform to share on, because, start graduating from high school and everything, college, and people going all different types of ways. And I noticed this hookup society and everything, like, there was a lot of drama, a lot of chaos, a lot of mayhem, a lot of problems, a lot of here today, gone tomorrow hookup stuff, a lot of phony, shallow stuff, stuff that, you really aren't able to depend on them. Or, like, I'm not saying you gotta depend, but stuff that you're not really able to trust, stuff that you're not able to be, have stuff that has no reliability, shaky stuff that does not serve you, you know what I mean? So, like, the point I'm making is like, I was like, yo, here's what I'm into. And then I started just getting into more of what I'm into. And I started connecting with other like minds and mentors and whatnot. And I started creating my own clean slate, honestly. Not clean slate, but just my own platform, you know what I mean? To just start over, if that makes any sense. Because technically most of us have been living a lie. So, like, that's what I'm saying. YouTube helped me, and that's why I feel like I'm in alignment, because, I started at my prime years, you know what I mean? Like, they say our early 20s is like prime time, like we're or in our 20s, I guess, is like prime years, because we're learning so much about ourselves. We have so much energy. We're performing, whatever it is, whether it's some people playing basketball, some people like me was working a whole bunch of jobs and studying and stuff and producing YouTube. Some people doing all types of different stuff, okay? And I'm just saying, like, for me, I was like, hey, I love family. I love long-term family. I love faithfulness. I love loyalty. I love depth. I love being welcomed and celebrated. You know what I mean? I love transparency and honesty. I love being vegan. I love the herbs. I love the sunshine. I love nature. I love traveling. I love connecting with people. I love doing this YouTube stuff. I love vegan food and health and wellness supplements, oils and juices and smoothies and skincare products and all that stuff, So, like, I'm like, hey, you know what? I'm gonna just focus on that. There's gotta be at least one woman out there that will accept me out of these billions, And I'm not in a rush for that. I'm just saying, like, that was my main intention. I was like, hey, you know what? That's what I'm pursuing, So I realized, hey, I've got to heal myself a whole lot to really be able to handle that, even more so, to be honest. And that's, I guess, it's always work in progress, for men and women. But I'm just saying, like, for me, I started seeing a lot of stuff from the mainstream, whether it be the music industry, whether it be the acting, entertainment industry. Like, it's a lot of stuff going on. And, like, deep down, I just resonated with the vibes, the family vibes, where you don't have to sell your soul. You know what I mean? Where maybe it's not so glamorous of a life, but, and at the same time, you still have your soul. I have my soul. That's the point I'm making, and like, that was a big, deep thing because I'm like, hey, I'm thinking long term, you know what I'm saying? It's real life. So like 10, 20, 30, 40 years from now, how do I want to be, by working on my present moment? And I'm like, okay, I had to make the changes here and there. I'm like, okay, I'm not going to be out here fooling around, like having all this stuff that doesn't serve me, like in my life, so that's the whole lower nature, higher nature thing. Sometimes you may gotta give up some music. Sometimes you gotta give up, some people. Sometimes you gotta give up some places. Sometimes you gotta give up some things, so that you can really just really rise above in your energy. And that's what I've been realizing too, because I'm like, hey, I'm not about this quick fix stuff. It's too rushy, it's too racy, I'm not about to, have that going on. You know what I mean? Actors, musicians, artists, this and that, many of them suffer from a whole lot of depression because, like, yeah, the viral stuff is cool and stuff, but at the end of the day, they're honestly real people just like you and me. Or, humans is what I'm saying. So, like, they got to go home to a mirror, and like all the stuff, so-called bad stuff, so-called whatever stuff that they might have done, maybe it be stuff that doesn't serve them, stuff that might be, creeping in their mind, you know what I mean, traumas or whatever. That stuff you got to live with. So like the point I'm making is like when you can just clear all that stuff out so that you're not, putting yourself in a position to be in traumatic experiences or experiences that you aren't cool with, then that's how you start feeling a lot more free, is what I'm saying. And like, I noticed that with the entertainment world, like the whole lust stuff. And, yeah, of course, I love women so much, and at the same time, I've been able to understand, and grow in understanding of creation. Shout out to Dr. Savy about sharing that whole principle. But I'm talking about, I love women. It's just like, as we grow and we get out into earth school, nature school, we start learning, stuff about love. And it's equal. It's supposed to be for men and women. You know what I mean? Like, I'm saying I'm straight, so therefore I just bring up women, So I'm saying for women also learn as well from men, okay? So don't think that one is better than the other at all. The point I'm making is just that, like, we supposed to learn. And like, I learned, obviously, you got to feel right within. You got to be right within. And like, whatever comes, just allow it to come. And then when it's there, when it stays, just let it stay. You know what I'm saying? Just like, be grateful no matter what learning lessons you're going through. And when it's gone, even if you are remorseful and apologizing or whatever, being real and not apologizing, whatever, like, regardless, like, you still learn that, to let go. Because why would you want to fight for someone who doesn't want to be in your life? And I guess that's something I've understood. And, there is no faking feelings or faking emotions at all, to be honest. Like, y'all ever notice how sometimes you may be smiling and it's a genuine smile? Like, you didn't have to think about it. You didn't even feel your face creasing when you're smiling. Like, you just naturally felt that smile come, like maybe a beautiful, lady, came across, or, ladies, maybe a cool guy or another girl, came across and like, gave you a smile or something like that, and you smile naturally, instinctually. That's the point I'm making. And like, that's how you can start telling between truths and lies, because people that lie, like, it's not reciprocal. Come on, let's go. It's not reciprocal. And like, usually they're hiding something, you know? And that's something I had to understand and learn, because I've been a part of that. And that's what narcissists do. They want to try to make you feel, come on, Fred, let's go. Come on, come on. They want to try to make you feel bad or something. And like, you know, it ain't your fault. You know what I mean? Like, especially when you live in like a karma-free life like I am, being vegan or something, I'm able to see a whole bunch of stuff that you wouldn't even be able to handle. You know what I mean? Like, for real, for real. This world can't handle the truth. Honestly, it really can't handle the truth. But hey, I have my freedom, I have my life, you know. So that's how I'm seeing it. I'm an inspiration. I'm aware of the broad audience I'm connecting with. And the fact that I'm keeping this consistency going, guess what? Down the line, I'm going to be laughing, smiling, because I didn't give up on myself. You know what I mean? I came here to be a king. You know, I am a king. So with that comes respect. Comes respect and royalty, you know, and like, that's the only point. That's the point I'm making. Like, you know, like, different people put themselves on different types of stages. And some people, they know that they're on the stage and they're lying on the stage or whatever, or, you know. I'm just saying I'm grateful to be a producer, okay? And YouTube helps out with that, especially for people who, you know, are wondering which way to go. The answer is, go your way. That's the best way for me to say it. Go your way. Keep your dream alive. Don't sell out. Listen to your heart, for real. Listen to your heart. Listen to your heart. Don't let nobody crush your dream at all. For real, for real. And that's how I stay focused and inspired, because, you know, there's many distractions, a lot of temptation. You know what I mean? Quick fix this, quick fix that. It's cool, but guess what? You lost your soul in the process. You know what I'm saying? Like, nobody's perfect. It's just, you know, you have to live with yourself is the only point I'm making. And like, me being vegan and having gone through toxic relationship and whatnot, and like, you know, learning some big key lessons there was cool, because, you know, you do work on yourself when you're in a relationship, and you realize, hey, that's the biggest mirror test. And when you're doing messed up stuff to each other, then that's only adding fuel to the fire on both sides. Now, when things are in harmony, in tune, in, you know, in resonance, whatever you want to call it, then guess what? It just flows. You know what I mean? There's no crash, there's no clash. And that's something I've understood. Obviously, it's common sense. It's just sometimes you got to go through these earth tests to really refresh our memory. But yeah, that's kind of what I learned, to be real. To let it go, you know? To let it go. It's not worth your soul. You know what I'm saying? So like, that's the same thing about building your platform, you know? You got to be mindful of that. You got to, you know, still own being you. You know what I mean? When everybody's doing this and that, like, you know what's up, you know? And I guess that's what I'm saying. Sometimes relationships that didn't work out will turn into a blessing in disguise for me personally, because guess what? I did the best I possibly was able to do with what I had. Maybe I didn't have a lot, but how much you want to bet? The more and more I'm working on myself, the more and more they'll be working on themselves. And, you know, down the line, we'll be the last ones standing, you know, because most people might have sold out or fought to the death of them or something like that, you know. But maybe we just use that time just to work on ourselves, and now we can have a big family, you know, with a big house with so many different children, you know. And the house was given to us because, you know, maybe a really materialistic, selfish being, you know, passed away or something, or they just, you know, they had to give it up or something like that. I don't know, you know, but that's kind of how I'm seeing it, because it's like, okay, just relax, just chill, you know what I mean? Like, that's what I'm saying, the whole accept ourselves part and like realizing it's equal, that helped me out so much, because like, I'm like, okay, I get it. You know, the little relationships we had, you know, it's love. Let's not confuse it with lust at all. And when it's true love, guess what? It'll come back to me, you know? And like the same thing is like, imagining yourself with a big platform and whatnot, you know, on a new level of everything, then guess what? It'll probably be a whole lot easier, a whole lot better for you to reconnect maybe with those that it didn't work out with, or truly with someone who's really, you know, willing and ready to have that long-term love chapter or whatever with you. So anyways, getting deep with y'all, sharing some good vibes. I get a lot of compliments saying my voice is very calming and whatnot, so thank you. I appreciate y'all. But yeah, you know, everything's gonna work out. It's just gotta be patient, gotta do the work on ourselves, and really, honestly, just gotta, you know, be us. You know what I'm saying? Like, stick to our own heart, you know, what we're listening to within us, what makes sense to us. That's what I'm saying. We gotta live with ourselves. And like, that's what I'm saying, relationships are some amazing teachers, because, you know, it's not always perfect. It's just gotta be real. And thankfully, it probably benefits both, to be honest. Real love, real relationships, and real people, they're not gonna be coming around here talking down on their past partner or something, because a real being, especially if you intimately connected, for real, and it's not no hookup stuff, a real being, truthful being, both sides are reciprocal and able to say, hey, guess what? You know what? You know, I learned from you. You know, the man and the woman both are able to say that. I learned from you and thank you. You know, both are supposed to share the responsibility. Both are supposed to be appreciative of each other. Both are even supposed to take the blame too. You know, both, keyword both, equal. You know, that's the point I'm making. And that's probably what helped save my life, because sometimes we want to try to put other people ahead of us, like on a pedestal, you know, and that can be unhealthy emotionally, but that can be unhealthy emotionally. So I'm glad I realized, hey, that real love, true love is reciprocal and equal. You know, they're not better than you, they're not higher than you, you know, they are supposed to be honored in my presence. Any woman is supposed to be honored to be in my presence, for real. And, you know, the real people have that type of mentality, you know, because truly, with all this chaos in the world, like, there's a lot of various different energies. And when you have great authentic energy, like we do, Authentic Squad, you know, you're able to, you know, really just honor those real connections where time stops, you know what I'm saying? Where you just feel so amazing, you know what I mean? You don't have to worry about work or this or that. Like, you finally have like a companion. That's what I love a whole lot, you know? That's what I love the most. There's no games, you know, there's no stage, there's no act, you know what I mean? It's just real life stuff. So the point I'm making is, you know, any woman who's ever been with me, they would be lying if they were to talk down on my name, or if they were to lie and, say they didn't learn anything from me, or that I didn't help them at all, or I'm not anything, they'll be lying, honestly. And that's what, real people know, to be honest. And that's AKA also mental health, working in my favor to realize this. You know what I mean? Someone who truly says they love you, they'll show it. And they really will love you. You know what I mean? So that's how I am with my scenarios, that everything will be all right. So, anyways, it's Eternal Authenticity, broadcasting live. Peace.